Did you know that 75% of people experience anxiety before speaking in public? That's right, 3 out of 4 of us feel nervous just thinking about standing in front of a crowd. But here's the kicker, studies show that 70% of how others perceive us in a presentation has nothing to do with what we say. It's all about how we say it. So, if you're struggling with giving presentations, you're not alone, and the problem might not be what you think. In this video, we're going to change how you approach presentations. We'll reveal 6 game-changing strategies that will not only calm your nerves but also ensure you leave a lasting impression. From mastering your message to using body language that commands attention, we'll walk through everything you need to know. Whether you're pitching an idea to a small group or speaking at a big event, these tips will transform your ability to engage and influence your audience. Stay tuned as we dive into some of the most surprising facts about presentation skills, and how you can use them to become a more powerful, confident speaker. Chapter 1. Master your message, crafting a powerful narrative. Preparing for a presentation. One thing is clear, your message is everything. Without a solid message, the audience will tune out. A compelling narrative is the backbone of every great presentation. The key is to make sure your ideas are clear and structured in a way that resonates with the audience. Start by identifying the core message you want to convey and then build your narrative around it. Research by Stanford psychologist Jennifer Aaker reveals that stories are 22 times more memorable than facts alone. That's why storytelling is a powerful tool. You don't need to be a professional storyteller, but learning how to weave your facts and data into a story can make your point stick. Take, for example, Steve Jobs. His presentations were legendary, but they weren't filled with complicated jargon. Instead, they told a story. He transformed technical details into a vision. A good narrative includes a beginning, middle, and end. It sets the scene, introduces the problem, and then resolves it. This is how the brain processes information naturally. To make your presentation stand out, give your audience something they can follow and relate to. Break down your message into digestible chunks. Focus on simplicity and clarity. Consider your audience's perspective. You're not just speaking to inform them, you're speaking to move them. Studies show that emotional engagement is one of the strongest factors for audience retention. By appealing to emotions, you create a stronger connection. Imagine you're telling a friend a story. Your message should feel personal and relatable. Don't forget the power of a strong opening. The first 30 seconds are crucial, as they set the tone for the rest of the presentation. According to psychologist Albert Mehrabian, 93% of communication is nonverbal. So, your tone, body language, and energy level matter just as much as the words you say. If your message doesn't start strong, the audience may never engage fully. In the end, make sure your message is clear, concise, and aligned with your audience's interests. It's not just about the information you present, but how you present it. Craft your message to not only inform, but also to inspire action. Chapter 2. Engage the audience, using body language to command the room. One of the biggest mistakes speakers make is thinking that their words are the only thing that matter. In reality, body language plays a huge role in how your message is received. A study published in Psychological Science found that people remember only 7% of what you say, but 55% of how you say it. That's why your body language can make or break your presentation. Start with your posture. Standing up straight not only shows confidence, but it also boosts your own self-esteem. When you stand tall, your body sends signals to your brain that you're in control. On the flip side, slouching can make you seem unsure, even if your words are solid. So, maintain a strong stance and open your body to the audience. Eye contact is another powerful tool. Studies suggest that maintaining eye contact helps build trust and rapport. When you make eye contact, you show the audience you're engaged and interested in them. But, don't overdo it. Staring at one person too long can make things awkward. Instead, try to make eye contact with different people in the audience. This creates a sense of connection and keeps everyone engaged. Use your hands as natural extensions of your thoughts. Gestures can help emphasize your points and make your presentation feel more lively. However, be mindful of excessive hand movements. Too much can be distracting. Keep gestures purposeful and in sync with what you're saying. Think of them as visual aids that complement your words. Another useful body language tip is to use your space effectively. Moving around during your presentation can help maintain energy. But be careful not to pace nervously. Instead, move with purpose. Shift from one side of the room to another as you transition between topics. This subtle movement can keep the audience's attention on you. Facial expressions are also key to showing your emotions. When you're passionate, let that show. A smile can go a long way in making you appear approachable and confident. Research from the University of California found that people who smile are perceived as more confident and likable. Finally, remember that body language is not just about how you move, it's also about how you control your space. Don't crowd your audience. Be mindful of your proximity to people, as too much closeness can make them uncomfortable. Keep your distance but stay engaged. Chapter 3, The Power of Pause, Timing and Pacing for Maximum Impact. Many speakers overlook the power of a well-timed pause. Pauses are more than just moments of silence, they are an essential part of pacing your presentation. Research in communication studies shows that pauses can actually make you sound more authoritative. By taking a brief break, you allow your audience time to digest the information you just presented. When you pause, you give weight to your words. Instead of rushing from one point to the next, you show the audience that what you just said is important. Think of it like this: after delivering a powerful statement, give the audience a moment to reflect on it. This gives them time to internalize the message, making it more likely they'll remember it. Another reason pauses work so well is that they create anticipation. When you leave a gap between points, the audience is naturally curious about what you will say next. This creates a sense of suspense and keeps their attention focused on you. It's a tactic many great speakers, like Martin Luther King Jr., use to build momentum in their speeches. Pacing your speech is just as crucial. If you speak too quickly, the audience might struggle to follow along. On the other hand, speaking too slowly can make your message drag. Finding the right rhythm is essential. Aim for a pace that's natural, but not rushed. A good rule of thumb is to slow down when delivering important points and speed up when moving through less critical information. Effective pacing also involves knowing when to vary your tone. A varied pace keeps things dynamic and helps prevent the audience from zoning out. Change your tempo when transitioning between ideas or highlighting a key point. Don't be afraid to slow down or speed up for emphasis. This will add energy to your presentation. Finally, don't forget about your breathing. Deep, steady breaths help calm your nerves and control the pace of your delivery. When you're nervous, it's easy to rush, but deep breathing can help you slow down and maintain a steady, engaging rhythm. Enjoying the tips so far? Make sure to hit the subscribe button to get more strategies that will take your presentations to the next level. Chapter 4, Visuals that Speak Louder Than Words, Creating Effective Slides. When creating slides for your presentation, remember that visuals are there to enhance your message, not distract from it. Research by 3M shows that visuals are processed 60,000 times faster than text. That means if you overload your slides with information, you risk losing your audience's attention. A well-designed slide can communicate your point quickly and effectively. The key to powerful slides is simplicity. Stick to one key idea per slide. Too many words or images can confuse your audience. A clean, minimalist design works best. Use a simple color palette and avoid flashy backgrounds that compete with your message. Steve Jobs was a master of this technique. His slides were known for being clean, direct, and free of clutter. High-quality images can be an excellent way to support your message. According to a study from the Journal of Experimental Psychology, people remember images 65% better than text. So, instead of filling your slides with paragraphs of information, opt for relevant visuals that illustrate your key points. Infographics, graphs, and photos can all help make your presentation more engaging. Also, be mindful of the text you include on your slides. Use bullet points or short phrases instead of full sentences. A good rule of thumb is the 6x6 rule: no more than 6 lines of text, and no more than 6 words per line. This keeps the information digestible and easy for the audience to follow. Fonts are another crucial aspect. Avoid using too many different fonts, as this can make your slides look chaotic. Stick to 1 or 2 fonts that are easy to read, and make sure the text is large enough for everyone to see. Sans serif fonts like Arial or Helvetica are great choices for presentations because they are clean and legible. The pacing of your slides is important, too. Avoid rushing through slides too quickly. Give your audience time to absorb the visuals before moving on to the next one. If you're using transitions between slides, keep them simple and subtle. Over-the-top transitions can be distracting and take away from your message. In the end, your slides should support your narrative, not overshadow it. Keep them clean, clear, and consistent with your overall message. Effective slides don't just look good, they help convey your message more effectively and ensure your audience stays engaged throughout your presentation. Chapter 5, Voice of Influence, Tone, Pace, and Pitch for Persuasion. Your voice can be your most powerful tool when delivering a presentation. Research from the Harvard Business Review reveals that speakers who vary their tone, pace, and pitch are 50% more persuasive than those who speak in a monotone. The way you speak affects how your audience perceives you, and it can influence whether they trust you or not. First, let's talk about tone. The tone of your voice sets the emotional mood of your presentation. A warm, friendly tone invites connection, while a serious tone conveys authority. Varying your tone throughout the presentation helps keep things interesting. For example, you might use a more upbeat tone when delivering exciting news and a more serious tone when discussing a critical issue. Pace is just as important. Speaking too quickly can make you seem nervous or unprepared, while speaking too slowly can bore your audience. Find a natural rhythm that suits your message. For example, if you're delivering a key point, slow down to give the information time to resonate. If you're transitioning between topics, you can pick up the pace to maintain energy. Pitch also plays a role in how your message is received. A higher pitch can convey excitement, while a lower pitch often suggests authority and control. To engage your audience, mix up your pitch. When you stay in the same pitch throughout, your voice becomes monotonous and can put people to sleep. Practice varying your pitch to match the emotion or energy of the point you're making. Pauses are another powerful tool for enhancing your voice. As discussed earlier, a well-timed pause can give your audience time to absorb information. But pauses also allow you to regain control of your voice and give emphasis to what you're about to say. Don't rush, let the silence between your words speak volumes. Avoid filler words like or whenever possible. They can undermine your credibility and make you appear less confident. Instead, practice pausing before responding to questions or making points. This gives you time to collect your thoughts and project more confidence. Finally, warm up your voice before speaking. Just like a musician warms up before playing an instrument, warming up your vocal cords helps you speak more clearly and confidently. Simple exercises like humming or doing vocal slides can help prevent your voice from sounding strained during your presentation. By using tone, pace, and pitch strategically, you'll keep your audience engaged and create a more impactful presentation. Your voice is not just a tool, it's a bridge between you and your audience. Make sure you're using it to its full potential. Chapter 6, Leave them wanting more. Closing with impact and a call to action. Closing of your presentation is arguably the most important part. It's the moment where you can leave a lasting impression, so it's crucial to finish strong. According to research from psychological science, people remember the first and last parts of a presentation more than the middle. That means how you end your presentation is key to ensuring your audience walks away with the right message. Start by summarizing the key points you've covered. This gives your audience a chance to digest the information one last time and reinforces the most important takeaways. But don't just list facts, remind them of why these points matter. Show them the impact and relevance of your message in their own lives or work. Then, it's time for a powerful call to action, CTA. A call to action is where you inspire your audience to take the next step. Whether it's signing up for your product, adopting a new strategy, or simply thinking about your message, a clear CTA drives the action you want. Make sure your CTA is simple and specific. The more actionable it is, the more likely your audience will follow through. You could also end with a memorable quote or a compelling story. For example, Winston Churchill once said, "To each, there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing." Ending with a powerful quote can leave your audience feeling inspired and ready to act. Another effective strategy is to ask a thought-provoking question. Something that lingers in your audience's mind long after the presentation is over. For instance, how will you apply this idea in your life today? This invites your audience to reflect on the material and consider how it applies to them personally. Finally, always thank your audience for their time and attention. Gratitude is a powerful way to show respect for their engagement, and it leaves a positive final impression. A simple thank you can go a long way in building goodwill. When done right, a closing can be the most memorable part of your presentation. Make it clear, concise, and action-oriented. Inspire your audience, and give them something to walk away with, whether it's a new idea, a fresh perspective, or a clear next step. The end of your presentation should spark action, making your message resonate long after you've finished speaking. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more content on becoming an exceptional speaker and influencer. See you next time.